morning, YouTube. I hope you had a wonderful week with your students. This week, I've been incorporating a lot of video content into my honors chemistry class, and it occurred to me I've never actually done a video where I talk about how to incorporate video content in meaningful ways into your instruction. So this video talks about 5 ways that I incorporate video content into my instruction, and hopefully you'll be able to get some ideas and spice things up a bit for your kids. One of the things that I did with my kids this week is run an EdPuzzle live. And if you're not part of EdPuzzle, I will put a link down below, but it is a wonderful tool to make sure that your students are staying on track, both inside and out of the classroom. It has some nice analytics. You can look at the data to see how your students are progressing through the content. Now, EdPuzzle Live is something that I absolutely love. I don't do it all the time, but I do it whenever I want to mix things up a little bit. Typically, I have a flipped classroom, so a lot of times my videos are assigned as homework, but more on that later. For right now, let's talk about EdPuzzle Live and how I use it with my kids. This week, we're beginning our discussion of equilibrium, and so we started out with an equilibrium launch lab, and then from there, I thought that the students could use some scaffolding, maybe another analogy to help them with the equilibrium position, and then the idea of like what an equilibrium actually means, like what is equal about equilibrium. So I found this video on TED Ed, and I took this video and I embedded it in EdPuzzle. I added some questions, and I ran an EdPuzzle Live in class. And so one of the wonderful things about EdPuzzle Live is that you can run the video in real time with your classes. You can give your students immediate feedback because as the video is playing, the questions will appear on the students' screens. So the idea is that when you run the live video, the students are going to be looking up at the overhead projector wherever you're projecting the video. And then when it comes time to pause, the video is going to pop up some questions. And so during those questions, the students can answer them. You can kind of see how many students have answered it, and then you can go over the answers. So EdPuzzle Live serves as an amazing formative assessment, and then I just took that information, put it right in the gradebook, and I didn't have to do anything special to it. It was a self-grading, multiple choice little formative assessment, and there was not a whole lot of effort on my part except to find the video and put the questions in. If you don't have a subscription to EdPuzzle, there is a free version. I will leave a link down below so that you can see what it's all about. The second way that I absolutely love to incorporate video content into my lessons is actually a review video. So I love creating very simple review videos. I literally use like whiteboards to create all the important points, all the important topics, and I just film myself talking about the topic. So for example, here is a video of me talking about my unit on solutions. It's a really simple video. Like I said, I prepare all the whiteboards in advance, and I'm just, speaking to each point and reviewing each part of the content with the students. Makes the video a lot shorter because everything's prepared ahead of time, and it's a nice review of the unit. A third way that I love to incorporate video content into my class is by making pre-lab videos. I would say I use this strategy very early on in the school year. I use it as an opportunity to introduce safety information, maybe the objective of the lab, even new apparatuses or equipment that the students are using. But the whole idea of the pre-lab video is for the students to have some idea when they walk into the class what they're going to be doing. And I think that really helps for the students to feel a little bit more prepared, and it gives you peace of mind that they did in fact watch the video, they did go through and answer questions. I do make sure that the students do earn a passing score on the actual questions, because if they don't earn a passing score, then I say you have to rewatch the video because you didn't pay attention to the safety and all that. But the pre-lab video has made a huge difference in that it gives my students the ability to complete the lab and be able to complete the post-lab questions in class, which is often very challenging for students, especially in the first year chemistry class. One of the investments that I've made over the years is creating these self-paced video lessons. So these self-paced video lessons are usually of me working through a problem, talking about the strategy, showing the work. And I really love doing this for kids because it gives them yet another resource, right? It gives them the ability to find things that can help them, and it's catered completely to the class. So no longer are my students searching the internet looking for people that they don't have a relationship with to help them. Instead, I have this library of videos that my students can use to help them work through the information. So not only am I creating the video, but I'm also explaining each step of the problem. Now, some students that are, pretty aware of how to do the problems or they feel comfortable with the content, they'll usually just fast forward to the end to see if in fact their answer is correct. But for those students that need a little bit more scaffolding, I love the ability to take it step by step. And so then they can use that as a tool to help them prepare for any assessment, because this library is constantly active and constantly being added to over the course of the year. I'm sure this comes as no surprise to many of you, but one of the things that I love to do is I love to create videos to introduce new content. And this could work one of two ways. You could use it as, again, an assignment the night before where the students are watching it and they're expected to come in with that knowledge, or you could use it more as support or scaffolding. Now, I will say I typically do the latter, in that my students are thrown into some sort of phenomenon or discrepant event or some sort of active learning environment. Maybe it could even be a POGL, for example. And what I do then is once they finish that activity or whatever we're doing, I provide the video content as scaffolding to support those students that maybe didn't get all the information that they needed to during the class activity. So I have found a lot of success in being able to offer different ways to share the content with students. So that is probably my favorite way to use video content, is to support students in their learning in terms of scaffolding at the end of some sort of guided inquiry activity or phenomena-based lesson. Those are the 5 ways that I use video content to enhance my instruction. How else do you use video content? I'd love to know. Please leave a comment down below. As always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll be sure to check in with you guys next week.